Good morning, students. Hope you are ready to observe the class. Shall we do an outlook regarding the previous day's portion? So, the previous class we have discussed regarding the classification of kingdom Animalia, right? So, kingdom Animalia is a vast group. So, they have classified the kingdom Animalia, right? So, the kingdom Animalia, first it was classified as two subkingdoms such as Parasaur and Eumetasauria. And again, the Eumetasauria is again classified as several grades, and grades are classified as divisions, etc. Right? Okay. Then this kingdom Animalia consists of 11 phylums. Do you remember? 11 phylums. Among these, the 10 phylums is included as non-chordates because there is no notochord or vertebral column. So, it is included as non-chordates. And the last phylum is chordates because it possesses notochord or vertebral column. Right? Okay. Among these non-chordates, the first 7 phylums we have discussed in the previous class. That is phylum Porifera, phylum Cnidaria, phylum Coelenterata, and phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Aschelminthes, phylum Annelida, as well as phylum Arthropoda. So, this is the things we have discussed in the previous class, and today's class we are going to discuss about the rest of these phylums as well as chordates. Fine. So, today we are going to discuss about the rest of these non-chordates such as phylum Mollusca, phylum Echinodermata, and phylum Hemichordata. Okay. Then the chordates. The chordates we can say first we could see the fundamental features of chordates. Then we are going to discuss regarding the subphylums of chordates. Right? Okay. So, the first phylum is phylum Mollusca. So, this is otherwise known as it is a soft-bodied animal. So, the body is very soft. Okay. And let us see, as we said in the previous class, first we can look into some general characters, then we can pass on to this some specific features of this phylum Mollusca. Is it clear? Okay. So, hope this general characters you may learn in the previous class. So, the every variety you may know already. So, then we can say everything soon and pass on, right? Okay. So, the first one, habitat. So, this Mollusca varieties used to live in the aquatic as well as terrestrial. Okay. Then organization, organ system level of organization. Hope you know organ system level of organization. Am I right? Okay. Then germinal layer is triploplastic. Triploplastic in the sense ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm will be there, right? And symmetry is bilateral symmetry. Bilateral in the sense the body will be divided as two in only one plane is called it is bilateral symmetry, right? And coelom, it is a true coelom is there, and that's why it is a eucoelom is, right? And the segment, the body, there is a no segment is there in the body, so this is unsegmented body, right? And digestion is complete digestion. Do you remember the word complete digestion? The digestive system begins from mouth and it ends with anus. So, the whole organs will do the same function. Digestion function is called as a complete digestive system, right? And then circulation is open type. Do you remember open type and closed type circulation? Open type in the sense there is no blood vessels to carry the blood. That is called open type circulatory system. Closed type in the sense heart will be there and the blood vessels will be there to carry the blood, right? But here except these squids, cattlefishes as well as this octopus, open circulation is present in all other mollusca animals. Clear? Okay. Then the respiratory pigment is hemocyanin. This is a copper containing pigment. Hemocyanin is a respiratory pigment found in the blood, right? Okay. And 6 it is a dioecious one. So, dioecious and monoecious I have discussed in the previous class even. Dioecious means the sexes are separate, male and female is separate. Monoecious means the sexes, there is no separate male and female, both the gamete will be produced from the same organism, is called monoecious. Is it clear? Okay. So, oviparous means it lays the eggs, right? And the development is indirect. So, the last class we have discussed what is indirect and direct. Indirect means the growth is passing through the larval stage, is called indirect development. Direct development means there is no larval stage will be there, that is called direct development. But here it is indirect development, which means it is passing through the larval stage. So, the larva of Mollusca is called as biliger larva. Is it clear? This is some general character about this Mollusca, and we shall look into some special features. Fine. So, first we can see this some examples of this phylum Mollusca. Then when I say this characters you can understand it soon, right? So, as examples of mollusca here octopus, snail, slug, unio. These are all the few examples we displayed here for phylum Mollusca. Fine. Then exoskeleton. Can you look into the figure? So the body is covered by the calcareous shell, calcium rich shell. That is performing as one exoskeleton for this mollusca animals. Already the body is soft body, we said. So the body is covered by this hard exoskeleton. Fine. Then the body parts. So the body is divided as three main regions actually. The total body is divided as three main regions. The first one is head, the second one is foot, and the third one is visceral mass. Okay, head, foot, and visceral mass. So here in this right side where the mouth is there, that part they considered as head region. Understand? And other important areas they are highlighted with this yellow color, right? Foot, that is called muscular foot, and visceral mass in the center, and the uppermost region it is mantle. So this is the part, they have highlighted part of this mollusca, right? And first we can see the head. So head is in this, and the right side where the mouth is there, that part this is head region, and it consists of the mouth, and the mouth consists of radula. Can you notice? And the radula consists of this teeth. One rows of vertical teeth is there. So this apparatus is useful for feeding. Understand? So that is one of the important area they marked in this mollusk. And the second one, the bottom, it is called muscular foot. This is useful for locomotion. And the central region it is marked. The next part is the visceral mass. Okay, visceral mass. So this visceral mass is covered by this membranous layer that is mentioned as in a purple color, and it is labeled as mantle. Can you notice? So this visceral mass, total visceral mass is covered by this muscular layer that is mentioned as a purple color, that is called mantle, right? And between this mantle and the visceral mass there is a cavity. Can you notice? Between this mantle as well as this visceral mass there is a cavity that is noticed as mantle cavity. Right? And this mantle cavity consists of feather-like gills. Can you notice the red color? Feather-like gills. These gills are called, it's a ctenidia, right? And this is useful for respiratory function. Understand? These gills are useful for respiratory function. And in one green color they can notice, it's known as a nephridium. It is an excretory organ for phylum Mollusca. Nephridium. It's an excretory organ for phylum Mollusca. Understand? So these are the internal parts they have explained now. Understand? Okay. So the next one is the sense organ. So the sense organs of this phylum Mollusca is eye, tentacle, and ospiridium. So the first figure, the eye and sensory tentacles are clearly visible, right? Okay. And the second figure denotes regarding the ospiridium, which is marked as this brown color. So this is one of the important sense organ because this is useful for the testing of the purity of the water. So the water purity will be tested with the help of this sense organ, that is called ospiridium. It may be also asked as a 2-mark or 3-mark question. Fine. So okay, these are all the special features they have discussed regarding the phylum Mollusca, right? Shall we look into the next phylum? So the next phylum is Echinodermata, right? Echinodermata. And shall we see this first general features? Okay. So its habitat is exclusively marine, right? Exclusively marine in the sense it is living only in this marine water, right? And organization, surely organ system level of organization. Symmetry, both the symmetry is there, radial symmetry as well as bilateral symmetry is there. And adult animal is getting radial symmetry and larva is getting bilateral symmetry. Understand? Okay. And the circulation is open type. There is no blood vessels are seen in this, right? And digestion is complete digestion because it starts from mouth and it ends with anus. And excretory organ, there is no special excretory organ is present for this phylum Echinodermata, right? And the nervous system as well as the sense organs are poorly developed. It is not well developed, poorly developed. Then endoskeleton. Endoskeleton means the body inside it consists of the calcareous ossicles. it is performing as a endoskeleton, like a bones. Our body consists of bones. Likewise, this calcareous ossicle is present inside the body. It performs as endoskeleton, right? And sex is dioecious in the sense male and female is separate. Then reproduction is by sexual method, and the development is indirect development because it is passing through the larval stage. Understand? And example for this phylum Echinodermata: Echinus, Antedon, Holothurian, Ophiothurex, Acidia. So these are the few examples of phylum Echinodermata. And one of the very important system of this or character of this phylum Echinodermata is water vascular system. Do you remember the canal system in the phylum Porifera? Almost the same. Here it is known as water vascular system or ambulacral system, right? Ambulacral system. So here this system is useful for locomotion, and this system is used for capture and the transportation of food, and it is useful for respiration. So this vascular system is performed with the help of this tube feet. That is a major region which is found in this Echinodermata. Can you listen this tube feet there? So every arms of this starfish, it consists of the finger-like projections, right? So that is called as a tube feet. So this tube feet is doing this water vascular function. So the first one, they said with the help of this tube feet, it could be able to move. That is called locomotion. And the second one, this is collecting this food and it is transporting inside the body. That's why they said capture and transportation of food. And it is useful for respiration also, because it may, through the water current, it will pass oxygen and all those things. That's why they said it is useful for respiration also. Understand? Okay. Then regeneration is one of the very specific character of this phylum Echinodermata. This is autonomy regeneration, which means, so even if one arm is cut off from this animal, the single arm may develop into one entire organism. Or the ability to grow the lost or damaged body parts is called regeneration. Sometimes a severe arm can grow into a new organism if 1/5 of this central disc is present. Understand? So there is it has a high ability for this regeneration. Clear? Okay, so these are the characters we have discussed regarding this Echinodermata. Now we can look into this next phylum, Hemichordata. So the Hemichordata, as per the previous classification, this Hemichordata they have included along with the Chordata. Yeah, that's why they said it says Hemichordata. But as per the recent classification, this Hemichordata they have put belongs to this non-chordates. Because the hemi means in the word it was half. So this Hemichordata varieties consist of non-chordate character also. Meanwhile, it consists of the chordate character also. That's why they have named it as a Hemichordates, and now it is belongs to this non-chordates groups. Understand? And now we can look into the general character of this Hemichordata. Right? So its common name is acorn worm or tongue worm. Okay. Then habitat is marine. It's marine habitat, and tuberculous means it is used to live inside the burrows or U-shaped burrows. That is called as a tuberculous, right? And the germinal layer is triploplastic, which means ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm is there. And symmetry is bilateral symmetry, and coelom, real coelom is there, and the nervous system is very primitive type. This is not well matured one, primitive type, right? And the sex is dioecious, male and female is separate. Okay, then the development is indirect development, which means it is passing through the larval stage. So the larva of this Hemichordata is called Tornaria larva, right? Shall we look into the special features? Okay, so first they said, and one of the example for this Hemichordata is Ballonoglossus, right? And if we look into this Ballonoglossus figure, we can easily visible the body is divided as 3 divisions. Okay, and the head part is known as proboscis, and the small part which is connecting with the next region is called collar region, and the main part is called trunk region. So the head is, the body is divided as proboscis, collar and trunk. This is the three divisions of this body. One main example for this Chemichordata we can say ballonoglossus, right? Okay, and now we can look into this few characters regarding this ballonoglossus. The first one, they said, is a digestion. Digestion is ciliary feeding. These animals are ciliary feeders, they said, which means, can you notice the gill slits in the left side? So these gill slits consist of ciliary cells. So these ciliary cells will absorb this water, and through this water it will bring this nutrient for this animal. So that's why it is collecting this water through the movement of cilia. That's why they say it is a ciliary feeding. Understand? So the ciliary cells is present inside this gill slits. So these ciliary cells will collect this water through the ciliary movement, and through this water current it will get this food substances also, and it will be taking the food. Understand? And the waste also will be eliminated. Right? This type of digestion is called ciliary feeding. Right? Then respiration. Of course, the gill slits we said now, and the gill slits are useful for respiration also. Right? Then excretion. So the excretory waste will be eliminated with the help of this gland, that is called proboscis gland, or they said it's a glomerulus gland. So the first head part we said is a proboscis, right? And the proboscis consists of the red color they have marked, it's a glomerulus gland. So this glomerulus gland is doing the excretory function. It is eliminating the nitrogenous waste, right? Okay. Then circulation. So the heart also mentioned along near this glomerulus. It's a heart is present, and the circulation they said open type. Open type means there is no blood vessels will be there. Or they said it's a lacune type. Lacune type means they said a network of these vessels may arise from this heart. That's why they said it's a lacune type. So this is the circulatory system for phylum Chemichordata. This is the very specific features for this phylum Chemichordata, right? Okay, and now we can look into the next phylum, it is Chordata, right? Okay, so Chordata general characters that we know very well, because one Chordata is this. Chordata consists of the animals which is very familiar for human beings. That's why we may know this about this general character of this chordates, right? So general character we can say habitat it may live in aquatic, freshwater, marine water, and it could live in the terrestrial in every regions, right? Okay. Then germ layer is triploplastic. Symmetry, it is a bilateral symmetry, and the coelom is eucoelomates, and circulation is closed type, right, which means it consists of heart and blood vessels. And organization is organ system level of organization. Clear? So the next phylum is Chordata. So here the Chordata, they mentioned this very specific feature, that is a fundamental features, that is notochord, nerve cord as well as pharyngeal gill slits. If an organism consists of these three characters, that will be considered as one Chordata. Is it clear? So this is a very three fundamental character for chordates. Understand? And let us see when it develops or how it develops. So here I displayed one figure that is not an animal, actually it is not a fish. So this is one of the diagrammatic representation for one chordate, which means this figure explains where this fundamental characters such as notochord and the nerve cord and the pharyngeal gill slit is present. It is explaining about the location of this character. Understand? Okay. So let us look into the first one, right? Notochord. Actually, notochord is present during the embryonic stage. So during the embryonic stage, this notochord will arise. Do you remember the word embryo? So after the fusion of the gamete, the zygote will be produced, and the zygote becomes an embryo. And embryo consists of embryonic layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, right? This is the things only we are discussing throughout this class, right? Okay, so from this embryonic layer, the organs will be developed, right? So here, during the embryonic stage, the embryo will develop one rod-like structure that is called notochord, okay, in every chordates, okay. But in some chordates, they said, for example, lancelet as well as the lamprey, this notochord remains or persists as a notochord throughout its life. For example, during the embryonic stage also it will be as a notochord, during the larval stage also it will be as a notochord, and during the adult stage also it will be as a notochord only. Understand? But in some higher chordates, they say this notochord will be replaced as a bone or vertebral column. During the embryonic stage it will be as a notochord, but in the adult stage it becomes as a vertebral column or bone. Okay, and now we can look into the figure where this notochord is present for all the chordates. Okay, so this figure consists of the 4 regions, we can say uppermost region, lowermost region, right side and the left side. Upper part we can say dorsal side, and the lower part we can say ventral side, and the right side is this anterior region and the left side is the posterior region. Is it clear? Okay, now we can see where is the notochord is marked there. With the purple color in the center they mark notochord. Okay, and this notochord is present below the nerve cord and above the pharyngeal gills. Am I right? Okay, so that's why they say notochord is present ventral to the hollow nerve cord and dorsal to the pharyngeal gill slits. This is the location for every chordates. Is it clear? Okay, and the second one is nerve cord. So look into the figure where the nerve cord is noticed as a yellow color they mark, right? It is one of the hollow fluid filled tube running from anterior side to the posterior side. Hollow fluid filled tubule running from anterior side to the posterior side. So this is doing the nervous system function, right? So where it is located? It is located above the notochord. That's why they said it is dorsal to the notochord and ventral to the body wall, dorsal body wall. Am I right? Okay. Then what is the role of this nerve cord? In the during embryonic stage it will be as a nerve cord only, but when it becomes an adult, this nerve cord will be converted as a, in the head region it will be as a brain, and from the brain this spinal cord may arise, and from the spinal cord it will become as a nerves. That is the role of this nerve cord. Understand? Okay. And the third character is pharyngeal gill slits. So this is also one of the very important character which is present in all the chordates. So we could think also we don't have this gill slits, right? And of course this gill slits is present in all the chordates during the embryonic stage. During embryonic stage it will be as a vascular or lamellar, like a network it will be there, right? Then in some chordates they say these pharyngeal gill slits will be remain throughout the life. For example, amphibians we can say, fishes we can say, this gill slits will be there for its respiration, right? But in higher chordates they say during embryonic stage these gill slits will be there, but during adult stage it will disappear. Is it clear? So these three is a fundamental distinct features for one chordate. If it is there for an organism, it will be considered as one chordate. Is it clear? So this is one of the very important 5-mark question. Okay, shall we look into the next? So here we are going to discuss regarding the subphylum of phylum Chordata. So phylum Chordata consists of 3 subphylums, that is Urochordata, Cephalocordata as well as Vertebrata. Urochordata, Cephalocordata as well as Vertebrata. So now we are going to discuss regarding these 3. Is it clear? Among this, the first one is Urochordata. So this is otherwise known as tunicates, right? Tunicate. So how do they get this name as a Urochordata in the sense? Uro means the name meaning is tail, which means it is one of the chordata, right? So what do you mean chordata? It must to have a notochord or vertebral column. So Urochordata consists of notochord. Am I right? Okay. But this notochord is present only in the tail region. That's why they said it is a Urochordates. Is it clear? Uro means tail. So the notochord is present only in tail region. Clear? Okay. Its common name is sea squids. And its lifestyle it will be as a sessile one. What do you mean sessile one? It's as a immobile. It will fit into one particular place and survive. That is called sessile. Or it will be free. Free movement will be there. Solitary means it will be alone. It move as a single animal. That is called solitary. Colony means it will move as a group. That we discussed in the previous classes even, right? Okay. Then habitat exclusively marine organism. Coelom is absent. Segment, there is no segment is there, and the total body is covered by the layer that is called test, or it is known as tunic. That's why they say it's a tunicates. Clear? Okay. Then digestion. Digestion is complete digestion. It starts from anus and end with, start from mouth and end with anus. Okay. Then circulation is open type. Open type, already we said there is no blood vessels will be there. So one ventral side of this body, one tubular heart is located, but there is no blood vessels to supply this blood. That's why this is an open type of circulatory system. Okay. Then respiration. Respiration is by gill slits or clefts. Okay. Then sex is hermaphrodites. Okay. Then development is interite. So the larva name is tadpole larva. Is it clear? Okay. And let us see this few examples for this and urochordates. One of this very familiar example is Acidia and Sulfa dolionum. So here I displayed the figure. It is Acidia. Clear? Okay. And they said it's about the nervous system. And the nervous system, they said the second figure is for larva. So the larva consists of double tubular nerve cord. Can you notice there? Dorsal hollow nerve cord. So it is present during this larval stage. Double tubular nerve cord. But when it becomes adult, it may become disintegrate, they said. It is becoming as a single dorsal ganglion. It will become as a ganglion when it is becoming as an adult stage. Understand? Okay. Then this is one of the very important character of this phylum Urochordata, that is retrogressive metamorphosis. Okay, retrogressive metamorphosis. Metamorphosis word already we know, right? So what is metamorphosis? This animal may pass into various stages to become as an adult. For example, butterfly we can say from egg stage to larva, larva to pupa, pupa to adult. So step by step, this character is becoming more advanced. From egg stage to larval stage, the character is becoming advanced. Larval stage to pupa. So pupa is getting the more advanced character than the larva. Am I right? So that process we said is a metamorphosis process. But here they say retrogressive metamorphosis means it is in a reverse direction, which means of course the larva will be converted as an adult. That is sure. Larva is converted as an adult. It is developing as an adult. But here they say during the larval stage, it consists of notochord. In the tail region, it consists of notochord. It is an advanced character. Am I right? And they said the larva is a free swimming one. It is very active during the larval stage. But after the metamorphosis means it is passing the stage and it is becoming as an adult. But when it is becoming as adult, this notochord will disappear. So it is becoming as from advanced character to low character. Understand? The notochord will disintegrate, and moreover this adult animal will be a sessile one. It is not a free swimming one. It is a sessile one, which means it is immovable. It will fit into one particular place. Sessile one. So this type of growth or metamorphosis, they said it is retrogressive metamorphosis. Clear? So these are all these characters we have discussed regarding this phylum Urochordata. Is it clear? And the next one is phylum Cephalocordata. Right? Cephalocordata. So just we can see this, and cephalo means the word head. So euro means they said the word meaning tail. But here cephalo means they said the word meaning is head. Right? So here automatically we can understand the notochord. It is one of the chordates. So must to have this notochord or a vertebral column. But in Cephalocordata it consists of the notochord. Is it clear? And the notochord is present only in the head region. That's why they say it is Cephalocordata. Is it clear? Okay. Then habitat, it is as a marine habitat, and it used to live in the shallow water. Shallow water means it is not so deep. That is called shallow water. Okay. And lifestyle, which is burrowing animal. It used to burrow inside this land, or that is called this burrowing animal. Circulation is closed type without heart. Circulation is closed type. Then, and sex is dioecious, so male and female is separate. Then the development is interite. So development is interite in the sense it is passing through larval stages. Then chordate character. Of course, the Cephalocordata is one of the chordates. So this must have a chordate, very specific distinct features we said, notochord, nerve cord, as well as pharyngeal gill slits. So these characters must be there for this Cephalocordates. Okay. Shall we look into these examples? So example for the Cephalocordate, one of the very familiar example we could say is Amphioxus. Amphioxus, not amphibians. It is one of the animal, Amphioxus. It is as one of the Cephalocordata variety, right? Okay. So this animal body, they said it consists of this head region and as well as this trunk region, right? Then, so as we said, the three specific characters, notochord, nerve cord and pharyngeal gill slit is clearly here displayed. So notochord is marked as a red color one and nerve cord is above that. Can you see this one? And below this nerve cord in the green color it is mentioned gill slits, pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, so that's all that is about this Amphioxus. Then excretion for Amphioxus, it is a protonephridia. So protonephridia is there. So this is the figure of this protonephridia and this is useful for excretion. Clear? Then the last phylum it is Vertebrata. So phylum Vertebrate. Okay. So let us look into this very common character for this phylum Vertebrate. That is Vertebrata consists of the backbone. Surely the vertebra means the word is backbone. So that's why the vertebrates must consist of backbone. Okay. Then the notochord is present during the larval stage. Notochord is present during the larval stage. Then vertebral column is present for adults. So during the larval stage it will be as a notochord and when it become adult it is becoming as a vertebral column. Okay, and paired appendages are present as either as a fins or as a limbs. Okay, paired appendages. Then skin. Skin consists of the scales or it will be feathers or hair or claw or nail. These are all present on the skin. Okay, protective features. Then respiration. Respiration is going on with the help of this gills, skin, buccopharyngeal as well as the lungs. It's the respiratory organs. And the circulation, ventral muscular heart is there for circulation. And excretion is going on with the help of this kidney. So this is the very common and very familiar. These are all the characters we know. Character for this vertebrate. Vertebrate in the sense which consists of this vertebral column. So this vertebrate, subclasses of this vertebrate, then classes of this vertebrate, all those things we can discuss in the next class. Understand? Hope you understood and that we can look into some assignments. Fine. So the assignments are, what is Ctenidia? What is Zospiridium? Mention the uses of G-food and mention the common name of this Hemichordata. Explain the location of the notochord in Urochordates and explain the distinct features of phylum Chordata. So the first phylum will be asked as either 2 mark or 3 mark question and the last one is a 5 mark question. So as I say, as usually, this is a few important questions or highlighted questions, but the questions will be asked from anywhere. At least these questions you cover during this period. Fine. So we can meet in the next class. Until then, thank you.